Yes, my mother is in the other room. Let's fucking go, chat! Let's go! Oh, I'm drawing so hard! Drawing, oh, I gotta do all this drawing, oh. What's up, chat? I'm thinking that I should start adopting a morning routine. All of the biggest YouTubers have a morning routine. If I want to be a true productive grind set holder, I think I need to have a morning routine. I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning to go to the gym because I have to wake up early or else people who are going to go to work will start to come into the gym at like 5:30, and I hate being around other human beings, so I'm like, okay, I actually have to go to the gym at like 4. Fuck. And then I got back and I was like, okay, let's moisturize my face just like Patrick Bateman. And I was like, wow, I'm doing it, guys. I have the grind set. It's working. Sick as fuck. Obviously, you don't have the correct morning routine. You mean waterboarding yourself in ice water 30 times before 6 a.m.? It makes you stronger. This is how you become a Giga Chad grinder. Morning routines. Just like me for real.
Preaching about the arrival of Christ.
This is the first time I've actually seen this in its original format instead of people just shitting on the guy, and it's pretty obviously it's supposed to be a funny video. Also, the guy's like clearly like 5'8" or something. Every time you see someone that's super jacked, they're always actually like really short. Look how tall he is compared to the Doors. This guy is definitely, holy shit, he's definitely like 5'6". He's fucking tiny. He's super short.
Three, two, one.
Nice vertical.
That's crazy. Thank you, bro.
And I assume he's selling this water or this bottle. That's probably his primary form of income, is selling his purified water or something. He has a professional white woman to hand him bananas, I guess.
Thank you.
I wonder what he sells. Damn, that's a long-ass morning routine. He's been doing shit for 5 hours now.
Thank you.
He definitely sells the water, definitely. Dude is being babysat more than your average 30-year-old basement dweller. You don't understand. By showing that he has a white woman to cook and hand him stuff, he's showing that he is desirable to other members of society, thus justifying how you, who also are watching this video, if you drink his water, will be desirable in the same way. Everybody in chat here is an incel, so you guys don't understand, but me being a incredible grind set giga chad similar to him, I understand why he needs his white helper assistant female hands to hand him a banana. My name is BaalBud I'm 39 years old. I'm not actually 39 years old yet. I'm just mentally already prepared to be 39 years old. My house is my mother's house, where other where other American folks are, and I am not married. I work as a comicist for myself, and I get to the gym by 3 a.m. at the earliest. He has like 10 women working for him, yet I still know he is cripplingly lonely. But aren't we all deep down? That's not unique to him. How many of us truly have someone that understands us? Besides the people in this stream, where you have this incredibly aware streamer that completely understands you. But besides people that show up to BaalBuddy streams, nobody will understand us, you know? We're all kind of alone. Sad, really. At least I did my 2-hour plus workout, and it was at least 5 hours before I sat down to work. I'm close to the grind set. I was doing 2-hour workouts for a while when I was losing weight, and then I realized I don't need to lose weight anymore, so now I do 1-hour workouts is kind of the situation. If you're burning fat, I think it's better to have longer, less hard, less difficult workouts, because that's like the fat burn zone. But once you've burned most of the fat you want to burn, then you can sort of increase your workout intensity and decrease the time, is what I have read. So that is what I'm doing right now. I only work out for about an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes or so now, because, you know, if you work out 2 hours every day, you're really cutting into your activity time for other shit. So I need to gain muscle weight. Maybe you should do 1-hour workouts and then twice a days. I don't know. There's all this science about how to gain your weight, and there's a million YouTubers about this, but the secret is always just use steroids. So I use this one crazy, strange secret to gain 25 pounds of lean muscle in 3 months. The doctors hate him. What could his secret be? Every other day for me? Yeah, you want to have rest days. I don't have much rest days, but I'm not trying to gain muscle weight. Also, I'm too old for that shit. Having videos filled with faceless women just seems so weirdly lonely. I don't know, I've been trained on my hentai to be used to seeing manga full of faceless men, so the faceless women don't bother me very much. When they say it's time to start about the elephant in the room, I know immediately they will start to push roids. So you don't understand. Every man needs testosterone replacement therapy in 2025. It's a real medical condition. It is definitely the best way to be gaining muscle quickly, that's for sure. Gotta get on them muscles before you start fossilizing. I need actually like functional muscle. Like I need to work on my core and shit like that so I don't fuck up my back as I grow older. I don't like working on my abs and like, you know, that type of shit. The muscles I actually am supposed to be working on as I become a senior citizen, so I kind of need to be working on that. But I don't find it enjoyable. I want to work on my chest, just like all of my, you know, muscle building buddies. I have huge pecs already. I've always had like abnormally round and sort of bouncing out titties, muscle titties. My pecs have always been like pretty prominent for some reason. I'm not sure why. I never really worked on them. I do a lot of squats. I'm okay with doing a bunch of thigh stuff. I'm just not a big fan of my abs. I like being slouched, and I like slouching on my mattress instead of putting strength into my core. Apparently it's important to balance chest and back muscles. I also do a lot of pull-ups, so I feel like both my chest and back muscles are fine. However, I did one of those like roller things, and I used proper form after watching a YouTube video on proper form, and I could do like 3 at most, and I was like, holy shit, my abs are weak. This is destroying my abs. My abs are like exploding right now. Holy fuck. So I guess I have to start working on my abs. Can you zoom out a bit? I want to see Aubrey. You'll get to see Aubrey when I'm done with this chapter. I wish I had both a home gym and like an away from home gym. I need like both. There are a lot of times when I just don't want to go out into the world, and I would just like to work out at home. Unfortunately, our house does not have enough space for a home gym. This is when I need one of those big ass McMansions. What is this music? Sounds like Final Fantasy music, but it's not. It's N64. It's Ogre Battle. Oh, I knew it was Square Enix. Oh, it's Atlas, not Square Enix. I haven't played Ogre Battle, actually. I hear that Unicorn Overlord is basically Ogre Battle. I'm waiting for the opportunity to play Unicorn Overlord because it's the strongest of all the waifu games released recently, so... Workout in the backyard? No, it's too hot. Aubrey is currently snuffleupagussing her childhood friend romantic desire. She doesn't have time for you. In retrospect, it's shocking how anybody can self-insert as the main characters of any kind of manga and shit. It's like, you're not like the main character at all. How can people be like, oh, Kirito-kun, he's just like me? I guess the answer is, if you're a fucking adult, you're not supposed to be reading Sword Art Online light novels, so... It's okay, I don't self-insert. I self-insert. Whenever I jack off, I'm pretending to be the ugly, faceless bastard impregnating the female. But having the guy have no face and also being ugly and fat helps me self-insert, although I'm not really ugly and fat. So I guess there's the answer for you right there. I'm not ugly and fat, but I can self-insert as the fat, ugly bastard. But I'm ugly and fat on the inside, deep inside my soul, you know. I can identify with the Tanetsuke Oji-san impregnator man. Jacking off is different? I don't think so. Not in my book. You have the Mushoku Tensei protagonist inside you. No matter how much of an income I have, I will always be unemployed in my heart. Nobody can take that away from me. No salary can make me a functional member of society. Reading your comic, I enjoy the female characters, but it only works because the protag is cool. So, the point of this is a fantasy-based rom-com where everything is kind of the opposite. Well, not necessarily the opposite, but I wanted the plot to get along instead of taking 500 chapters before anything happens. I wanted the main character to be someone who is obviously attractive instead of being this traditional trope of the Japanese MC where it's like, he's only a normal guy, quote-unquote. Why do all the girls like him? I.e., you're supposed to self-insert as the same fucking character. I didn't want to have one of these characters. Have you noticed that after 2025, they kind of toned down on the spikiness, but instead they made sure to have these inward things and outward things? Like, they don't go full Goku anymore, but for the MC-kun, they make sure they still have the spikiness in these type of parts. It's like they can't be bothered to go like full Goku spiky like this. Because that would be too spiky. I'm supposed to be normal. So instead they give you like just a small amount of spikiness. And every single one of the MCs looks like this. Have you noticed that shit? Also, it's probably a lot easier than drawing fucking Yugi's hair every time. I drew Yugi like once or twice, and by God, his hair takes a lot of time to draw. I can't believe that Yu-Gi-Oh! Was like a weekly fucking manga, considering all the details on every single character and every single monster. You don't really start noticing this shit until you actually start drawing shit, and then you're like, oh my god, Yugi takes 1,000,000 hours to draw even once, what the fuck? I have spiky hair though, but I'm old. I have spiky hair because I'm Asian. Asian hair can actually be spiky in real life if you have a specific gene. If I go to bed with my hair wet after taking a shower, I wake up and the hair will just be like fucking sticking out of my head like Goku. Although I haven't seen that in a long time because I shave my head now. But like if I want to style my hair, I could just wet my hair and then like keep it in that position for like 5 minutes and it would stick like that. I wouldn't need to use gel or anything. It was pretty cool. All the spikiness is now contained in the fringe in the back of the head. So you can have like the 70s rapist child molester look where it's like you're fully bald, right? And then instead of just being like bald, you grow it out. Get the long hair. Mustache and maybe goatee. Actually, goatee is an improvement. Let's just keep it at the mustache. Yeah. I should start dressing like this. And then I can tell the police officer that I'm definitely not a sex offender. 100%. Mr. Officer, why did you think that I would be a child molester? I'm just a normal guy living at the trailer park. Why is he kind of handsome? People have often complained that every character I draw is a little too handsome, even if I'm supposed to be drawing a, you know, someone that's supposed to be unattractive. I guess I can't help it. King of the Hill character? Of course he's a King of the Hill character. Anybody who lives at a trailer park is a King of the Hill character, of course. But instead of having the long hair going straight down, instead we can go like the full Goku hair. Kind of looks like a hedgehog species now. Like, you know, Shadow the Hedgehog type. Extremely powerful looking. There. Yeah, I would definitely trust this man to babysit my kids. Hey, Hachi. Yeah. Moon fan art? Moon is not this thin. I don't think if he's super fat anymore, but... He You need to develop a meth addiction so you can maintain your thinness. That's an important part. He looks like a fun uncle, to be honest. Your sex offender uncle might be a fun uncle because he wants to keep his trailer park house popular among the kids. And then he'll find the kid that has low self-confidence and he won't be a fun uncle to them. Hey, what's up? New season of King of Hill reboot soon? I have no relationship to King of the Hill, so it doesn't really mean much to me. I also don't live in Texas, so I don't have like any real life connection to King of the Hill. The mythical land of Texas, where regulation does not exist. Just free men living their free lives. Feels good, man. Did you watch PSG Season 2? No, I have not. I haven't been watching any anime. I've only been drawing. I didn't know that was out right now. I will watch it at some point. Except regulation against anime. Regulations are okay if they're Christianity, if they're to enforce Christianity. Any government regulations that enforce things like, I don't know, having flood warning systems and stuff are evil, but if it's something like declaring Christianity as the official state religion and then everybody has to say the Pledge of Allegiance and, you know, speak their name toward God every day, Texas is like, let's go, let's fucking go! What is PSG? Paris Saint-Germain. I know because I watch their esports teams. I hear they are also a soccer team. Huh, I don't know how to do shiny hair right now. How should I do it? I still haven't really figured out how to draw everything I want to draw, but once I actually, like, get that shit down, my process is going to be much faster. I've noticed that I can draw just, like, everything using the charcoal brush, and it kind of looks good in every situation, and it's faster than using pens. With pens, I always get kind of caught up on if the lines are properly spiky enough, and you don't have to worry about that with charcoal, so I think I might just be using charcoal going forward. There's all these tools that you wouldn't be able to use if you were working in analog, but you can use if you're working in digital. So I've been dicking around with those things. I've been drawing a lot of the backgrounds using crayon. See all these little dots on the building? That's because I'm using crayon. Well, I hope there's a new wave of panty and stocking porn, because that was what it was good for back in the day. I'm tired of all of my porn being just gacha, endless gacha. I feel like gacha porn isn't as poignant and resonating with my soul as other types of doujin porn, because gacha is clearly meant to stimulate the erection from the first part. So it's basically built for porn to begin with. Whereas for porn of other genres, it feels like you're violating the sanctity of the original content, which makes it sexier. It's a form of taboo. Like, say there's a very strong female character in the original source. Watching her lose and get fucked by a bunch of, you know, ugly guys is like, holy shit, I can't believe this is really happening. It's violating your expectations, not just the character. Whereas pretty much all gacha is just like, it's for porn, so it doesn't feel very special. Base corruption enjoyer? Yeah. You can't corrupt what has already been corrupted, so it's impossible to corrupt any gacha content, that's for sure. No one's like, no! My sexy battleship is pure! She's basically naked at all times, but she's my pure waifu. She would never get tentacle fucked. Impossible. Satsuki Kiryuin, except she was made for porn too. Please do not sexualize the character who's only wearing a string bikini at all times in the anime. She was never meant to be your sexual fantasy, men. Do not direct your male gaze toward the woman who is pretty much naked. That is wrong. Umamusume horse owners except that one guy. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Umamusume horse owners are just like super old guys who don't really understand what's going on, and they're just like, whatever, man, just don't embarrass me. Satsuki's tremendous ass overpowered me. It would be awful going to school with Satsuki. I feel like she would slam her giant ass in my face and there would be nothing I could do. If Satsuki sat on my face and I told her please stop and she wouldn't move, that would be horrible. Haha. Imagine the smell. I'm glad that doesn't happen to me. They threatened to ban artists from Comiket if they drew Umamusume porn though, or is that fake news? That sounds like fake news because artists have to apply to Comiket in the first place, so there wouldn't be any banning process. You just wouldn't pass the initial, what do you call it, exception process in the first place if they wanted to block it. It's not like you just run in with your book and then you can publish whatever the fuck you want. You have to, because there's not enough space for everybody to have booths and have to be able to set up in the first place. So it's already incredibly organized. So if they didn't want to have Umamusume content or Umamusume porn, they wouldn't have to ban anybody. Maybe they set up a regulation that you can't do porn, but I don't know. Japan is a country that has been self-censoring itself for many, many years, which is why we all have censorship on the vagina and pretending like we don't know what a vagina looks like in Japan. Except for Daiwa Scarlet's owner, he knew what's up. I mean, it's impossible to live in Japan and not have some people who know what's going on with the anime stuff, so I mean, the Daiwa Scarlet owner wanted the sexiest horse and he got the sexiest horse. I don't think there's any debate that Daiwa Scarlet is the highest amount of feminine hormones coming out of all the horse girls. That horse female was built for sex. The mosaic is also Japanese culture. To be honest, the vagina isn't a very important part. It's not particularly attractive. I don't need to see all the folds. I'm perfectly fine with imagining how it looks instead of seeing it. It's their borderline. If it's censored, then we don't know if any penetration is occurring or not. Therefore, it's not pornography. Japan is a country where I can't remember if pornography was quote unquote or penetration in pornography was illegal or not. But besides that, it's also a country in which prostitution is illegal and gambling is illegal. Now, you might have noticed that there might be a little bit of gambling going on in front of every single fucking train station in the form of pachinko. Or there might be a little bit of prostitution going on in the form of like every fucking soapland. But please understand that pachinko is just a fun little game in which you win prizes like in an arcade. And then there's a handy little pawn shop around the corner who will buy your prizes for real money. And in the case of soaplands, it's just two responsible adults who go into a hotel room and fall in love for 30 minutes. And there's nothing the police can do about it. People are free to fall in love with whoever they choose. So there's no hypocrisy going on in all of Japanese laws right there. The vagina is attractive, you're gay. I'm not saying it's completely unattractive, but it's not the primary indicator of the female form. If you're saying that the vagina was the most important thing, then how did I masturbate to all those images of women in swimsuits in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit calendar as I was growing up and I didn't have access to porn? Here, I'll draw two shapes and you can decide which is sexier. Here's shape 1. Now here's shape 2. Which gets your neuron going harder? What? It's just an oval, bro. I drew an oval and 2 curved lines. Vaginas are ugly as fuck. By the way, Twitch, you can't ban me because I was only drawing the horrifying Eye of Sauron. It's just like a Twin Towers type situation. Can you leave those 2 curves up for a minute or two? I mean, I've already explained this many times, but like what really activates the neurons is that hourglass shape. So you can have a woman have like huge, wide, muscular shoulders. This is how I draw muscle women, right? Just huge muscles, but as long as you go and give her a super thin waist and then give her the super thick thighs, and then you can just like put on big booba. It doesn't matter how wide the shoulders are. If we're going by normal proportions, women's shoulders are generally like 1/2 head width, And then when you get larger, you can go all the way to like 75% of the head. I don't know. And if you're going giga size, you can be like the full size of the head on both shoulders. If a woman can't crush my head with her thighs, then I can't date her. Please understand. Muscles are attractive so long as women don't have 0.1% body fat. If you overtrain, your ovaries stop working, so... As men, we can, I guess, like, deep down identify that the woman on 10 million pounds of testosterone bodybuilder is not ready for sexo and baby making, so... That's probably why we don't find it very attractive. The low body fat is a turn off. It kind of feels unnatural. Are you saying that female bodybuilders who have pumped themselves full of artificial hormones are unnatural? How dare you? Everything should be in balance. In general, the average American female probably should be worried more about having less body fat than having too little body fat, based on what I see when walking around, when going to the local Walmart and everybody is riding on the special cart. Never got the appeal of muscle women. Muscle women are only good in hentai and manga where they can keep their curves and keep their body fat while still having shit tons of muscles. Real life muscle women, just like real life muscle men, have fucked their bodies up by using too much synthetic hormones and stuff, and it's very unhealthy, of course. So it's perfectly natural for your brain to tell you like something's fucking wrong with this body. Because there is. I mean, their period has completely stopped, so they're not really a species that you can be having children with, so your evolutionary part of your brain that's telling you that this is a potential mate shuts off, obviously. You're just saying buzzwords? I am not saying buzzwords. It's hard for me to verbalize everything I want to say because I'm trying to draw at the same time, but the human brain is capable of seeing when somebody's body is fucked up and being like, well, what the fuck is going on there? That's not that controversial a thing to say. That and you're autistic, talking is hard. Okay, you guys start your own fucking Twitch stream. and try and draw a picture while you're talking to like 30 people and see how well you can speak non-stop alone for 2 hours. We'll see how many viewers you have. How about that? Oh wait, you'll get 0 viewers like everybody else on fucking Twitch. How about that? You're not alone, you have us. No, we're all alone. We are born alone and die alone. We walk this earth alone. We're all just ships passing in the night. You're never alone with a Daki. That's right. Your waifu is real, guys. Don't never forget that. Senpai! Don't worry, Senpai. You have me. Now that I think about it, I feel like there's very few anime or manga in which the Kohai girl who shows up and is like, don't worry, Senpai, I've got you. That girl is the actual winner. Like, what usually happens is there's the initial girl, and then later the Senpai, I'm your Kohai, I'm cute, why won't you look at me girl shows up. And she never fucking wins. I think there's an even lower win percentage of the Kohai cutesy girl than there is of like childhood friends, honestly. Like, I can't imagine any situations in which it's happened where the Kohai girl has won. They're always like, Senpai, why do you care about Shinohara Senpai, her other senpai, the female senpai? Why do you care about her? You have your cute Kohai, and I'm just as cute and even cuter than her. You have me. And I can't think of any time in which the main character's like, you know what, Kohai-chan? You're fucking right. Forget that stupid bitch. You're even better than her. Let's get married. Was never said. Said no one. Always aim for the teacher. You barely need to aim. The average anime and manga teacher is like pissed drunk, complaining about how no one will ever marry her even though she's already 28 years old, and then lying around on the floor with her legs spread open, and all you have to do is like, Sensei, let's go home now, and she'll be like, no, I want to keep on drinking, and then, you know, she drags you into a love hotel. Easy. As usual. All according to Keikaku. I hate the brat Kohai trope like 99% of the time. I romance Reset in Persona 4. And then made Yukiko my main girl and made Rise my side piece just to torture her. Also, I made Chie, I friend-zoned her specifically to see her suffering. There's truly nothing more cruel than taking a girl to rank 10 in Persona 4 and then being like, yes, we have the strongest bonds we could possibly have as a man and a woman, which is why you're my best friend, Chie. And she has to continue to have the commune link at level 10, pretending it doesn't fucking destroy her soul. It's pretty funny. It's weird to reject Risa because she keeps thirsting for your dick after rejection, even if you date someone else. She's a good girl. She can be my concubine side piece. Man, Persona 5 just didn't reach the same heights of anime fantasy that Persona 4 did. My primary issue with Persona 5 was like other parts, but I also didn't have as good in terms of like the anime trope characters as well. Persona 4 just like really hit everything on the nail. It was like, here's your trad wife, Yamato Nadeshiko. Straight black hair girl. Here's your short haired tomboy. Here's your annoying kohai idol. Here's your homo. And here's your non-threatening best friend who is theoretically attractive, but everybody doesn't treat him seriously because he's the jokester of the whole group, so no one would ever consider having sex with him. And here's the girl dressed like a boy, and no one could ever tell that this girl is a boy, despite her having the biggest tits of the group. Literally impossible. I only resonate with the villains, to be honest. That's right. Bitches and whores. Thank you, Adachi-san. Making girls laugh is so unattractive. Every single rom-com, you have to have a non-threatening male friend who everyone's like, oh, you're such a pervert, Yosuke. I would never ever think about dating you because I'm only interested in MC-kun. And even if I get rejected by MC-kun and you're part of our friend group, I would never consider dating among our friend group because that would be too realistic. Even though you're conventionally attractive, that would be extremely strange. Instead, I will just be sad and lust after MC-kun's dick for the rest of my life. Jamal-kun. Persona 4 would be fire if there was a DLC character who was a black weeb in Japan. We need to represent all the black anime fans. Four even has 3 cuck teammates. No one is more of a cuck than Morgana. Morgana is funny because he's basically doing the Yosuke non-threatening male character who's like, wow, that girl is so hot shtick, except he's literally a cat, so you're definitely not going to feel threatened by a cat. Now, if he was a dog and you have a white woman in your party in the form of Anne, you would just know, but thankfully it's a cat, so it's okay. I don't know where that trope came from. I don't have enough association with actual white women, so thank you, 4chan, for notifying me of this. It is weird to have like an actual cat lusting after one of your party members, though, isn't it? Like, if I was writing that shit, I would be like, okay, this is kind of weird. Let's not do that. It was okay when we, the character, were lusting after Teddy's bussy, but now you're making it weird. In fact, I would just have Morgana be a hot girl. Why is that so difficult? It can be the funny cat like 90% of the time, and every once in a while Morgana will shapeshift into a cute girl. And of course you can date her. It's because you have a shit ton of animal fucker white women in the southern USA and Wales. I like how you specified a certain location in Britain. Is Wales the deep south of England area? Is that how it works? What is the worst place among the mainland, the main island, and Ireland, Scotland, and Wales? Is it Wales? Anyways, I haven't finished Persona 5, so you can't spoil all the amazing things, which I definitely haven't been spoiled on the internet by browsing 4chan in the last 5 years. Wow, I wonder if this Ikemen-kun that looks like Yagami Light is actually going to betray our team. Good thing I haven't been spoiled about this one. That would be Northern Ireland. Ah, yes, I forgot about Northern Ireland. Is it just me who feels like the whole Irish liberation stuff seems like a lot of hard work about something that wasn't that big a deal? Especially when you compare the situation Ireland was in compared to like the Palestinians in Gaza and stuff like that. It's not like they were living under insane apartheid to the point that, you know, they were all kept in a fucking prison and stuff. Isn't Northern England kind of that way too? I'm sure it is. The last couple percent are sheep. Northern English accent.
Welcome to the North, where a lot of local dialect words are still in use, like bairns in Newcastle, but in Cumbria, children are barns. And you'll hear a heap of sounds you don't get in the south. There's those dancing light L's here on the eastern side in words like hill and help. But when they travel to Lancashire on the western side, they lose the H and the L becomes heavy, and the words become ill and help. Where older folk may still pronounce their R's when they say them in a word, and young and old have still got that nice up and down bounce to the rhythm.
I can't tell what she's saying.
Down the county is the Kingdom of Merseyside, which is basically Lancashire, with
And this is
sprinklings of
BBC.
Welsh and Irish influences, and where they often can't agree on exactly what is a Scouse accent. Then travelling just a little bit
Liverpool
further inland is Manchester, which is actually quite different
football
to
fan.
Liverpool, where unlike Liverpool,
Trying to put words to that game. Liverpool were amazing.
Bosh, amazing, sick, great, fantastic. What else do you want me to say?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
We blew them away.
We did. Every player was Bosh, and the one that I'm mentioning now, Sadio Mane. I said it last time I was on it. He's the best football player in the world. I don't know why he's laughing for. Chris, why are you laughing for? Why are you laughing for? I'm being serious. No, you see, I'm talking facts here. I don't do if, buts and maybes. I do absolutes. And, you know, like, if your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle. But she doesn't, so she's not. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So,
Really,
No, I don't know what you're trying to
do you know
say.
what I mean? So, like, what I'm trying to say, he's the best football player in the world.
Quality.
He's Bosh. Chan's better than Idrissa Gana Gay.
Transpiter, he's a banner
Who?
Exactly.
He's Bosh.
He knows. My man knows. Do you know what I mean? Listen, Paul. Champions League, baby. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely.
My mate.
Yeah, quality. Nice one, lad.
Yes, Paul.
Cheers, man.
If your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle, but she doesn't, so she's not. Huh. Yes. What's the most tortured Premier League franchise? I need to know which players' fans or which team's fans I need to make fun of. Manchester, I would think. Wait, is Manchester different from Manchester United? I know Manchester United got bought out by super rich owners, right? So I assume they're not suffering because they have oil money. Do we have any Euros in this? I always assume that everybody in my stream is a Euro and they know football and I don't. But maybe I'm wrong. Are you getting requests to draw horse girls? I might be, but I'm ignoring all requests and just drawing my manga, and I'll go back to drawing requests when I'm done with this. But right now we're just grinding this shit non-stop. I'm a Euro, but I don't give a fuck about football. Shame on you. If you don't care about football, then what do you even care about as a Euro? I know there's Handeg fans in Germany, but that's about it. I mean, isn't that the good thing about being a European sports fan? Is that you get the whole, like, Champions League and stuff like that. Everybody cares about football. You have Eurovision and, you know, all your Premier League teams and your Bundesliga and stuff like that. Seems more fun than American football with all our stupid bumfuck nowhere teams. Like, we have a fucking football team in Jacksonville. No one gives a fuck about the Jacksonville Jaguars. I guess you can say the same thing for all the regulation Premier League teams like Crystal Palace or whatever. I guess Crystal Palace won recently? I don't fucking know. I care about social welfare. Wow, that must be why you have so much of it, you fucking socialist cuck. In here, the country of freedom, we don't get any social welfare. It makes us stronger. Instead, we just sort of go to the emergency room and they can't turn you away. And then you get charged with like a $70,000 bill and then you just don't pay it. 50% tax is fun. You can't really just print dollars to fund everything like America is doing. America would need a 50% tax if they actually wanted to balance their fucking books, but they don't have to, I guess. No healthcare. Jesus is my health insurance. Euro cucks will never understand. The light of God will heal my calcified liver after drinking too much alcohol. My gun is my health insurance, Kekona. I mean, it's certainly an exit strategy, that's for sure. It's kind of fucked because the very rich avoid high taxes with low capital taxes, but middle class gets hit with 50%. I mean, I don't know if you're talking about Europe, but that's the same for America as well, so that's not really unique to Europe at all. In America, you're gonna get taxed the highest if you're in that, like, you're earning an income around like 100,000 to 300,000, those type of people, like doctors and stuff. People who are making money from their salary, and then instead of like making money off of capital gains, those people get like 50% taxes. Quite a lot. The difference is the income tax is so high. American income tax is, it's only super high for high earners, I guess. But, I mean, that's just because America's not trying to balance its books. If it had to... If it actually wanted to balance its books instead of relying on debt spending, they would actually have to raise taxes on everyone. And the rich as well, but they're not going to do that because, you know, America. Drunk driving crashes is clearly a result of not letting Jesus take the wheel. When are we going to get fucking self-driving cars, tech bros? Like, I understand you were bullshitting about Mars, but I thought that at least the AI driving cars were in the beta phase. When are we going to fucking get that shit? I think it should be higher up, actually. Texas has them. They have them in very limited locations, but I'm pretty sure they're not ever going to actually roll them out nationwide because there'll be liability issues. Liability is a bitch. There's some in San Francisco. There's Waymo systems. I'm not sure these are profitable. That's the thing. I know that the Waymo vehicles they have in San Francisco, which are these taxis, each cost like $200,000 to make. So I don't know if the cars you can get right now that have self-driving are actually like economically like viable, or they're just they're still in the phase in which they do a lot of spending that keeps them in the loss, but they hope that it'll be like cheaper in the future and then it will one day pay for itself. I don't know which is true, because it can't just be like a safe and functional. It also has to be cheaper than, you know, a human being driving. So Grok 4.0 is going to be put into Tesla, so either Mecha Hitler runs people over or get self-driving cars. Well, considering how Grok does on anything besides text generation, I would be extremely scared of letting Grok take the wheel. Grok's text generation is amazing. However, if I fucking go to Grok right now, and I'm like, Grok, generate an image of Asuka Kazama from Tekken eating ramen. You did it, Grok. Excellent job. Because every Asian woman looks exactly the fucking same. We'll just shit out these, this image of this woman with fucking Leifang hair and cleavage and 4 bowls of ramen. Yes. I will definitely be looking forward to you driving my fucking car and not getting me killed. That will definitely be a fun experience. Grok is extremely shit at image generation. Let's see if I can get it to generate an image of Asuka by adding more descriptors. Generate an image of Asuka Kazama, a Tekken character with short brunette hair that is spiky toward the outside. Asuka is wearing a silver blue jumpsuit with a blue tank top undershirt and has arm protectors, gloves, and knee pads. Generate her in anime style. Asuka is making a fighting pose. Do it, Grok. Kind of can do it. So one thing I've noticed using a different AI image generator is that the AI image generator actually has images of certain characters stored in its memory, but it can't pull them out like on command. But if you give them enough descriptors, then it will actually be like, oh, that's what Samus looks like, and it will start giving you more and more accurate images of Samus and start generating parts of her costume that you haven't included in your description. It's pretty interesting. It's like you remind them what Samus looks like, and then it will start going. Fighting game characters in general are too minor, unless they're like Chun-Li or something, that I noticed that most AI generators fail to generate them. Also, you know what's bad at doing? Not Grok, but like the uncensored one that I was using. It's really bad at doing Ryona and Guro. If I want an image of a woman getting impaled on a spear, it can't figure out how that happens. Like, it can't imagine what it looks like for a body to get its body parts cut off and stuff like that, which I assume comes from there not being as much gory images on the internet because that shit gets scrubbed. So it just doesn't have as much source material. I'm sure the feet girl from Street Fighter is prominent enough to be recognized. If she's so prominent, why can't you name the feet girl's name? Checkmate, Foot Coomers. It can definitely generate Mario and shit. Mario is everywhere. FGC fans thinks that their franchise is relevant, but it's not. I only know the Coomers, not the game. We're all Coomers deep down. When did we start saying Gooner? It bothers me that all my Coomer comics are now irrelevant because the correct term is now Gooner. Why do we have to be like, why do we have to change the term that we use for masturbating every 5 seconds? Was it Yuri or something? Like something really simple? There are Yuris in fighting games, but that is not the correct name for... You're close. You're very close. Kinda annoying YouTubers upload your comics on YouTube and get 100,000 views. Yes, well, YouTubers are a class of plagiarizers. We know this. If anything, at least the people who dub my comics actually have to, you know, do a small amount of editing work. Whereas the larger YouTubers are just like, I watch this other YouTuber, let me talk about this and react to the content, and they get even more views. I'm talking about Asmongold. If you're talking about Solus, Solus actually gives me money, so I don't care how many views he gets. In fact, I support that. None of the other people who do my comics dubbed give me any money though, so yeah, fuck them. Solus is cool. We are in a partnership, an economic partnership together. I thought those channels were approved by me. They're approved by me in the setup in that I don't give a fuck. It's the internet. We all are playing the game of attention on the internet. I'm not going to send any cease and desist orders to anybody just because they're using my content. However, I will tell them you can suck my dick. How about that? No one doesn't like Solus. Solus is the original person. He was the first person who started dubbing me, and he's the only one who actually truly has a good understanding of editing and comedic timing and like stuff like that. I've tried watching the other video channels who have done my stuff, and they fucking suck. I'm glad Solus was also the guy who was like, I want to partner with you and give you money, because if it was another person who was like that, but their quality was way lower, it would have put me in a weird situation, because I was like, I definitely want money, but I really don't like the content this guy is producing. Luckily, Solus is the one that also has the highest quality content, and also is the one who, you know, wants to do good in terms of monetary partnerships, so I kind of lucked out on that one. Coomers fap 24 times a day, while Gooners fap 1 time for 24 hours. We are not the same. You know, editing is super important, but you never really notice how important it is until you, like, encounter bad editing. Some of the amateur, like, sound editing on YouTube, where there's like these weird pauses in between the different voice acting and stuff, is just like fucking unbearable. When I was generating porn, when I found the AI image generation last week, I was basically edging 24 hours a day as I was generating porn images, and it absolutely destroyed my libido. I couldn't come. Thankfully, I've recovered from that point in my life, but don't edge non-stop for 24 hours, guys. That's a public service announcement for you guys out there. It's not good for your dick. Your dick was not meant to handle that level of stress. It's my right as an American. My Ford truck. My $1 gasoline per gallon. My pepperoni pizza. My Pepsi. My Bible. My goon station. And my AK-47. I guess you can't have AK-47s. You have like these modified AKs. My AR-15. One can only edge for so long in one day to achieve goon ascension in 1 week. So let's see. My image gen folder was... It was created June 30th. So it's been a week and a half basically, and it currently has 5,000 fucking files in it. And that's not just me saving images randomly, that's me going through the time to find the good images and trying to figure out combos. That's like 30 hours of goon tactics right there. Any manga recs? I read 2 terrible manga back to back and I need some light. What I recommended as a shonen in the previous stream or 2 or 3 streams ago was Fujita Kazuhiro stuff. Karakuri Circus is one of my favorite, and it's one of the lesser known manga out there. It depends on what you're looking for. I haven't been reading manga recently, so I don't really know what is the best among new stuff. Most of my manga knowledge comes from the 90s. Angel Densetsu is okay. I think Angel Densetsu is better than Claymore. In fact, I think Claymore is pretty bad, honestly. I feel like Claymore is a fantasy novel that does none of the things that make fantasy interesting. The monster designs are awesome. Just say that you like the monsters because they're booba girls. Vegeta himself seems to love that the most too. The anime especially was good. They got an insane amount of talent for the anime. It's probably one of the best adaptations of anime I've seen. Especially for something that has as many volumes as it is, and they had to like cut a lot of the parts. Fujita did a really good job like figuring out and working with the anime production staff what parts to keep and what parts to leave. What I like about Fujita manga is like there's always a scene in which the character is making a face like this. And it's like, oh, I have become the demon. Standard Fujita manga scene right here. What's important is that you make sure you draw each of the teeth and have the gums visible. And then he does all this kind of the line work where it's... I hear that when he draws stuff with analog, sometimes instead of using a pen, he'll just take like a stick and put it in ink. Because he feels like the pen doesn't give enough, you know, soul to his drawing. At one point I hope to draw Fujita style. The Fujita face is a inheritance of the Nagai Go face, which is also similar, but man, I can't draw it because I just drew the Fujita face. Now my mind is fucked up. I can only draw one face at a time. But it's like the inheritance to the let's fucking go thing of Nagai Go. I want to draw a hot-blooded shonen manga where I can really let loose with my lines at some point, but that's not what kind of a manga this is, unfortunately. I haven't read Sobote. There's all these like manga that I want to read in book format, so I'm like, when I'm in Japan, I'll go to a manga cafe and read it at once. So I've been waiting on them, but maybe I should just buy it. And read it on my PC, honestly, because I used to be like a very heavily paper person, but I feel like I've changed my mind and now I like reading on PC better now that the scans are good. I prefer Sobote over Karakuri. I like Karakuri because it's such a unique premise, and I don't think anybody was like, we're gonna have like an entire circus themed shonen manga until Karakuri. Like, I wish all the people who produce all these copy-paste isekai shit took 1/50th of the time of the thinking time that went into creating the concepts behind Karakuri and stuff like that. But slops have the most demand, so I don't think they really do. It's I mean, even the slops that have demand, like certain slops get all the views. Like the slime slop is in a completely different stratosphere than the million other copycats that came after it, you know? And slime slop isn't a true slop. It doesn't follow the copy-paste formula. Kadokawa would go bankrupt without isekai? I don't know, man. It's, they don't pay these people. That's a huge part of it. I'm sure of it. Like, it seems like it's high in demand, but I think it's actually just like a publishing structure in which they buy your rights to publish it, and then if you get a percentage of the sales, by you I mean the author. So a lot of these authors just don't make much money unless it is really popular and stuff. It's basically just an industry built on the back of a lot of people not getting paid very much at all, I think is what's going on. Good night. Basically what I need to figure out to get better at manga is how to add more dark blacks to my manga. And how to add more blacks to my manga without fucking up the composition of everything is basically my number one thing that I need to figure out right now. I'm not talking about race relations, guys. Although, unironically, having a black character would make the screen darker, and that would help. If you actually look at professionally finished manga pages, they have so many of these like literal things that make the page darker so it doesn't look like it's too white going on. When's the next dad stream? Not for a long time. He won't be coming anytime soon. I'll probably be going to his house before he comes to this house, because I have to abandon this house when construction on upstairs starts because my mother's going to try and renovate. So when that happens, I'm going to be driving out to his house and staying with him for a while. I refuse to pay rent under any circumstance. That is my solemn vow, to never ever fucking pay rent and leech off of my parents as hard as possible forever. I mean, rent in America is no joke right now, so... I did give my mother $600 a week or two ago, though, so I guess I'm paying a little bit of rent. Not full leech mode activated yet, but I'm trying. America's about rent economy, you know. Rent economy and corporations buying up houses so the rent also goes up. Everybody's like, oh, houses asset that's gonna go up no matter what. We should all invest in buying houses, and now there's not enough houses or something. I don't fucking know. I don't know how the America's current real estate works, but all I can say is suck my dick. I'm not gonna participate in it. Everybody else can pay $2,000 of rent every month. I'm not going to. Alright, let's try exporting this page and see if I can figure out what I want to do with it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to finish this stuff on stream, off stream. Let's go to the next page. Just do the thing that blacks do to lower the rent. Be black. I don't know how that shit works. My gentrification homeowners association told me that if blacks enter the neighborhood, that will just naturally lower the rent and the property values. So go out when you're 18 and be leached out. I mean, if you compare me being allowed to live in my parents' house when I'm close to 40, and then kids who get basically kicked out and have to somehow fund owning a car so they can get a job, and then paying $2,000 a month in rent, like the amount of financial advantages I've had, like I'm not a Nepo baby, but just not getting kicked out of my parents' house is a massive financial advantage. Because you're essentially costing someone like $15,000 a year, $20,000 a year just by rent right now. And how the fuck are you going to pay that if you're like a 20-year-old, 18-year-old? And then you also have to be in debt to own a car if you want to have a job to pay your rent. You compare that to Japan. A, you don't have to own a car in Japan, for one thing. There's public transportation. B, rent in Japan is still like $400 a month. Sometimes even lower if you know the right place. Only Tokyo, we're talking about $1,000. But even like major cities in different parts of Japan, it's very, very low. With that aristocratic kneading, you must now devote your time to immersing yourself in high culture and great cultural works. I mean, look at all this anime I'm drawing. Isn't that the very definition of high culture? Alright, I was planning to work on my next page, but it's too fucking hot here, so I'm gonna end the stream here, guys. So I can be comfortable and go sleep in the basement. See you around, guys. Good night. Have a nice night.